What's up, beautiful people? 1 second, I'm trying to check the stream. But peace and love to everybody out there. Shout out to my family. Shout out to our brothers and sisters all around the world. Y'all know who it is, family. 1 second, I just need to see if the stream is cool. Make sure everything is good before we really get into this. Because this is going to be a very, very informative show that we have for you, family. All right, let me see something. We got a brilliant brother here who we've been rocking with for a while now. Now it says this. Yeah, so I'm not sure. But we here with a brilliant brother who we've been rocking with for a while now. He does mining out here. We're currently actually in the beautiful city of Lusaka in the country of Zambia. And we've been here for a little bit, family. Peace and love to all the beautiful people. Shout out to everybody who's in the room. Let us know how the stream is. Before we get going, let us know how the stream is so that we're not going on and on and it's janky, family. Because one thing we hate is janky streams. All right. Yeah, I think it's on the TV. But yeah. Hey, my mom's in the bill. Shout out to my mom. Yeah, peace and love to you. Yeah, hopefully everything's going good out there in the beautiful country of America. Oh, I'm trying to fix something, but hold on 1 second. All right. We're about to get started, family. We're about to get started. Yeah. Everything is almost ready that we had to get. Okay, the stream is clear. All right, her body, yes, it can if the authorities give them. All right, let me see. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Not small amount. That's supposed to be benefits for our brothers and sisters. Yeah, we gonna talk about it, family. And I'm here with a heavy hitter. This ain't just somebody from America talking out here in Africa. I got an actual miner, a big time miner here out here in Zambia doing this thing. Oh my bad. He wants to say small time, but yeah. Anytime you doing things and controlling your own ship is big, family, to me. Even if your business, may not be as big as some of these corporations, it's still big time to me. Yeah, but y'all know who it is, family. Peace and love to the family. It's the unapologetic. No mass. We be unapologetically nomadic, family. So, can mining be beneficial for local Africans here? And also, can it bring Africans out of poverty? And we have the expert here, the one and only Ngobola. Hold on 1 second. There we go. There we go.
Hey,
Yeah, so how you doing, Ngobola?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine out here.
Cool.
Like I've always done. I try all the time to encourage Zambians to get into business, get into private business. It may be tough. Like I said last time, at the garage, but you gotta soldier on. That's the only way to get out. And when it comes to mining, like we try to promote every sector, from agriculture, mining, construction, and now one of the first things new things we have ventured into is basically encouraging small-scale miners. So small-scale miners, especially from the copper belt, the young people have already discovered the value of mining, and we can see it also in what's happening in Kasempa and Rufunsa and the Eastern Province. So what we're trying to do is that we're trying to encourage the people to legitimize this business, venture into it, not just on in an informal way. So we were glad that the government agreed to be issuing artisanal licenses to small-scale miners. So that is one of the things that can actually help people get out of poverty. You've seen the projections in terms of copper demand, cobalt demand, gold demand, and all those resources are here. I am I am a strong believer in a mixed system. You can have multinationals, these big corporations, but those aren't going to lift us out of poverty. They're out here for profit. But if our people take ownership, get involved, and start doing the actual mining themselves, it will change a lot of things. They will start small, but eventually they will grow as the demand goes up. So the example I always give is what feeds Zambia, especially when it comes to our staple food, which is mealie meal, which is shima, is basically the small-scale farmers. They collect, even we even have a food reserve agency which collects corn from these small-scale farmers. And when you compare the commercial farmers and the small-scale farmers, they are actually able to produce much more. And even if they were allowed, they would have been exporting even into Congo. But because the government buys from them and and puts a cap on how much they sell that for, they are able to feed the entire nation. So if we do the artisanal way, we go to the artisanal way, and encourage these people to be producing, of course, in an environmentally friendly way, and then also paying attention to all the regulations that are there, we will be able to be to get these most of these people out of poverty and then teach them new skills on how to mine. So actually, when we started with this, we thought it wasn't really something that is going to grow, but looks like it's got the potential to grow. We are getting calls from people from as far as Cameroon, Mali. We have associations there. So I am hopeful that this, if taken seriously and supported very much, it can lift people out of poverty. Really.
So, like in Zambia, what are some of the like major or most like popular, I guess, resources that are mined here?
Yeah, traditionally the most popular resource was copper. But now they are finding out more, uh, many other minerals. We just found out that we have got sujite in Luapula province. There is gold in Rufunsa and also northwestern. There is lithium in southern province and some parts of central province. There is copper and various other minerals that were not really traditionally part of it. And those were discovered by the same small-scale miners who were just mining on a small scale. And then um, uh, because the traditional belief has always been that the development of all these mines will only be done by big corporations. I know my wonderful people, like Museveni would say, the very highly educated who lampoon this and say this mining is a very complicated undertaking. But what they forget is that even those multinationals, they don't put money up front. No one tell lies. They don't put money up front when they are coming to start developing these mines. What they do is they borrow against the same asset. They put up a paper, and then with projected cash flows for the future, then they borrow against that to develop it. So we are going to start small, and eventually we are going to get into a large scale. But we don't have the financial muscle to start on a large scale. But we are going to start small, and eventually, when all those artisanal people are able to produce and we can project the cash flows, that's why I'm encouraging them to get their documents right, or the paperwork straight, so that even when we take these documents to the bank, the cash flow projections can be seen, what they sold, the taxes they paid, and what the profits they made, so that we can project those. And then we will one day approach sensible banks to help us develop them. So imagine if there are 4 artisanal licenses in one grouping, we can transform that into a large scale if we combine forces and then start to mine. So for me, I don't believe in this defeatist notion that mining is so complicated and what somebody referred to as the soft bigotry of low expectation. Because actually, if this works, it actually helps out people like those who are rioting in the UK, that there are too many immigrants coming into the country. If our people realizes that there is actually more money to be made here, and if we open up even in places like working in close collaboration with small-scale miners associations in other countries in Africa, which are resource rich, all those boys who are, all those people who are swimming across the Atlantic, we eventually realize that it's actually possible for them to turn back and look inward into Africa. So all those things, and even people that are busy trying to get into Europe and America and the other places, they realize that actually you can make it here. And if that works, it will really be nice for us. So it, I can see it because I've seen the Chinese are coming here. Why are they coming here? Because there is something in this country and in this continent. So if we just manage the relationships very well, I always say that I don't believe in excessive greed, where somebody wants to take over everything and then exclude the people, and then only talk about employment, where they just pay them peanuts. This is not what we are looking for. We are looking for ownership, and we will start small, but eventually we will get there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So how hard is it, or how easy is it to get in mining, like if you're in Zambia?
Okay, it is a bit difficult, but not that very difficult. You make an application, and then the application is done, and I know the government is trying to help us in accelerating the registration of most of these small-scale miners. So it's not very difficult for our members, because the government is actually helping us on that one, which we really appreciate, or I am appreciative of, because they have actually seen the importance of having small-scale miners. And if we manage it very well, it will be one of the largest contributor to our GDP. So we encourage people to reach out. You can go to our Facebook page on Small Scale Miners Association of Zambia, and then you send your message there, and people will get back to you.
Nice. So how long have you been mining out here in Zambia?
I'm not a mining engineer myself.
Okay.
I'm a civil engineer who specializes in water supply.
Nice.
But because of my interaction with the mining companies, in terms of dewatering, because when you're mining, especially on a larger shaft, you gotta sink a shaft and you find water. So on dewatering of these mines and constructing, sizing the pumps and designing the pipelines and getting the water out of these mines, because of that interaction, I started getting curious about mining. What's so complicated about this? And because in water, when designing of treatment plants and wastewater treatment plants, it's process engineering. So you get material, you process it, and you get what you want out. So the science is the same. So you get the copper ore, you want just copper from it, so you design a process plant that will just extract the copper and then get rid of the waste. So the science is the same. So thinking outside the box, I thought this is something that I can also do. But also what really prompted me to get into mining was that I did not agree with the demonization of our people, that they are just illegal miners, because they understood the value. So if they understood the value, and then you just help them. I mean, if you look at, not to add deep here, but what is happening here in Zambia and in Africa with these what they're calling illegal miners, it happened in America as well, during the gold rush. And what the American government came up with was the Homestead Act, even though it just favored white people. But that's where the name Bonanza come from. I see people go to play golf at Bonanza there, and those people who own Bonanza, some of them benefited from the mining in this country. So they hit a bonanza and they made their golf club there. But we also want to hit a bonanza by our own. Okay? So when you look at the Homestead Act, you find that those people who were doing bonanza, they hit a vein of silver on their land. And the government just marked it for them and say, okay, you'll be mining silver and you make money. So they made a bonanza. But why is it that when it comes to our people, when they hit a bonanza, you want to chase them away from their land? No, we want to encourage and persuade everybody to believe in their own. Because if you look at how we manage agriculture, the small-scale farmers feed this nation. If you go to northwestern province in Solwezi, there is what used to be called Solwezi beans. Solwezi beans, you never used to find the large commercial farms producing Solwezi beans. Somebody would just put a warehouse somewhere, and the farmers will be bringing their own beans, maybe 1 or 2 bags. Eventually, in a month, they'll fill up the whole shed. So that's what we also want to do. We want to encourage our members to be doing that, legitimize their businesses, and then see how we move from there. I don't believe in the notion of spreading falsehood that our people have no capacity. Actually, we have been mining in Zambia even before colonialism, because we used to smelt iron. We used to. When you see those who watch football, the Zambian jersey, especially our women are the ones that went to the Olympics. You see that symbol that looks like this. Yeah, that was the first currency smelt out of copper. So you can exchange that for cattle. That was before colonialism. So why would somebody come here 200, 400, 300 years later and tell me that we are not capable of doing this? You can even see it in the names. We have names like Kafula. Kafula is basically like a blacksmith. If you are going to Ndola, there's a place there. They don't even pronounce it very well. They say Kafula Fita or Kafula Futa. But it's not Kafula Fita, Kafula Futa, it's Kafula Fita, meaning a blacksmith. They used to live there. They knew that was their trade. So this is not something that we are just trying to force on the people. The people themselves know it. And we also have, and we are encouraging everyone from everywhere. Retired policemen, you bring in some discipline on how we can manage our people. Retired senior civil servants, you bring in your retirement. We're not saying you bring in the money. First of all, you come and see what is happening. And then you can start. You can start a little bit. 1 excavator, 2 dump trucks, and then put a bowser so that we are also environmentally friendly. We look after the trees also nicely. And this time there is even new technology. We can buy an entire plant, which is very small, right? And then with the crusher, you just dump your material in there, and it will come out from the other side without any discharge into the environment.
So how important do you think it is for Zambians to mine their own resources here in Zambia?
It is very important, and I'll tell you why. 80% of our economy is foreign owned. 80%. That is not, it needs to be, 80% has to be owned by our own people. And that is why, when economists talk about debt to GDP ratio, the debt to GDP ratio, that is how much the government owes and how much of their GDP, how much do they produce? You make a ratio of this. If it is very high, it becomes a problem only when you are borrowing from outside. But if your debt, the government's debt, is with their people, let's say our small-scale miners, they grow to become medium, and they are able to lend to the government. I will be much more comfortable even if the debt goes up because they'll be borrowing from their own people. Okay? That is why Japan's debt to GDP ratio is very high. But they borrow from their own companies like Toyota, Mitsubishi, and all that. But when, in our case, if it's very high, it's a problem because we are owing some European, American, and all these other people. So it's very important so that we tip the scale from 80% of the economy owned by other people to 80% owned by us. Yes, that is what should happen. And once that happens, all these people are crying about immigration. Actually, with the European Union or the British government or the American, they should actually support this. I'm not saying they bring in money because those monies come with different conditions. So we don't want to be derailed from our mission. But they should appreciate it that we are trying to stop people from getting to their countries where that EU foreign affairs chairperson or secretary was saying, oh, Europe is a credo somewhere, and then everything else is barbaric. Okay, we want to stay in our barbaric area and mine our own resources so that our people don't come to your countries and then you start killing them in the streets there. So, yeah. So, but this initiative will help us. Will only help us, but it also help them. So they don't have to be scared of us. We will stay here in our own area. And they also tell their multinationals, because you see, I'm not just attacking those people for nothing. Sometimes when I talk about multinationals, you can go look it up. Glencoe was fined almost over $1 billion, and another one was also fined in the UK. They had to pay billions of dollars for what? For bribing African officials and for cutting corners. So our miners are just not registered, some of them, and none of them have committed such heinous crimes. It's a sad story. I went to Northwestern Province there. I passed through the mine, one of the non-mining companies there. When you enter, there's even a security guard. The roads are paved. They have houses and everything. Get out of that mine and see how our people are living. I thought there was too much injustice in there. And that's one of the things that really prompted me to actually say, no, we gotta do something about it. These are their resources. How come they are not involved? So we want to encourage them to come forward, join our association, and then we try to legitimize their business so that once it starts to produce, and we are also trying to be a bridge when negotiating, because some would want to sell their mining licenses. So what we are trying to say is that we help them negotiate by leaving a percentage instead of outright sale. If they want outright sale, we will keep their percentage as the association, and if they want to come back, we come and resell that percentage to them. Of course, not for free, but we do that for them. Eventually, because one thing is that our people, and I don't blame them for selling, because to maintain those mining licenses, it's also not cheap. You have to pay area charges for them. You have to pay ZEMA. You have to pay all sorts of things. And not everybody has that amount of money to maintain the license, especially if they're not producing anything. So, what we are trying to encourage them is just to be a little patient. And if they want to sell, we link them up with some legitimate people that are coming approaching us, so that they have a larger percentage, and then the people that are funding it, they just support them to develop the mine. And if they are paid off their developmental the money they spent on developing the mine, then you go 50-50. So the resources are ours. And anybody who's coming here to help us mine those things, is just a contractor. It's like somebody, I asked somebody to go and dig a well in my yard, like that Arab guy was trying to give an example of. Somebody come, if here I want to dig a borehole, and I bring those guys to drill a borehole. I just have to pay them for drilling my borehole, and they should go away with their equipment. But they shouldn't own my borehole. My water is mine. Yeah. So that's with our resources here. We try, and equipment is readily available. Nobody should start to make it look like we are living in 1980 or 1915, where you can buy equipment from everywhere, right? And then employ your own people to do that, all those works for you. So it's not that difficult.
Cool.
We are who we have been waiting for.
Yeah, definitely.
We are the Joshua generation. Moses, and these are our freedom fighters. Our freedom fighters like Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, Kwame Nkrumah, Patrice Lumumba, may his soul rest in peace, for having been who was slaughtered really terribly over his same resources. I hope nobody comes for me. I'm only trying to help people here. I'm not trying to kill anyone. I know some of these players in these businesses are very devious human beings. They want to sabotage it. But God is on our side, and our people, we are hoping and praying that our people also become resilient so that we can help them go forward. Our Africa is like a big steak. Everyone wants to have it, but they don't want the African himself to be involved in the stake of their own resources. So on that issue, those people fighting, and even our governments, we may blame most of these governments for what decisions they make. But you see, the one with the money will get access to your government. It's not just your vote. The one with the money will have access to your president. So if the people themselves have the money through their own collective thing, they will have access to their government. And by that, they will shape policy. Policy on mining, because they will know that policy on mining that favors their own people is what should drive the economy. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you, Ngobola. Appreciate that.
You're welcome, my brother.
Yeah.
And good to see you after a long time.
Yeah.
And when you fly back, fly safely and say hello to everybody.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah. Yeah, family. So we about to head out. Peace and love to the family. Make sure y'all check us out on Unapologetic_Nomads on Instagram. Also, you have a Facebook or anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you just search Ngobola Muyembe.
Okay.
Ngobola Muyembe.
Okay.
You'll find
How you spell that?
So Ngobola, that's Ngobola. Chengelo is CENGELO. Then Muyembe is MUYEMBE. And those names have meaning. Ngobola is if somebody wants to beat you, right? And you come and say, call me to come and fight your battle. That's what it means. Ngobola in Bemba, that's what it means. Chengelo is a light. And Muyembe is the mango tree. You know, Yembe is mango. I think in Tanzania they know this one. And Tanzania, Kenya, they know. And also some parts of Wapula. Yembe is mango, but Muyembe is a tree.
Nice.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Nice. Yeah. All right, family. Peace and love. Let me do this.